What's up guys, Learning with Rich here. In this video, we are going to learn how to create color fills and schedule on our electrical. Okay, on our electrical design. So Revit 2025, it lets you add color fills to spaces based on specific space parameters. So space color fill plans and schedules can be helpful as design tools and as a design communication document. So basically in this exercise, we're going to create a space color fill plan using the lighting levels that we are going to specify or we already specified from our previous exercise. Alright, so space color fills can be used with any parameter that exists for the space components. Alright, so let's do this. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a color fill legend scheme. Alright, so to do that, let's go to the architecture tab and then let's look for room and area. So let's click that one and then let's select here color schemes. So let's click that one and then here on our edit color scheme dialog box, you can see the schemes here. The category by default is spaces. So we have other categories here, but what I'm after is the category for the spaces, and then here under the spaces, so you have the different types of schemes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate any of this scheme. So I'm going to select duplicate here because I'm going to create a new one. Alright, so let's change the name so that let's say I'm going to create and name it required lighting. Okay, and then after that I'll select here, okay, maybe I'm going to copy this. Copy and then okay, because I'm going to change the title here. So for my required lighting scheme, I'm going to change the title and then I'm going to call that required lighting levels. Okay. And then for the color, let's change that to required lighting level. So when I click this one, you will see this dialog box. So that's fine. Just select OK. And then you will now see this values here. Okay. So by default, these values that we have here is by value. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change that to by range. So let's click this one. Okay, and then you can actually select the format here if you want to modify the units. So you can click that, and then if you want, you can modify the units, the rounding, and then the unit symbol here. But I'm not gonna do that. I'll just use the project settings that I have right now. So I'll just select here, okay. Okay, so now the next thing that I'm gonna do, I'm going to select at least 20 foot candle row. Okay, so this command, if I'm going to select this, okay, so this command, it adds a new value based on the split value of the unit you are adding the new value after. Okay, so that means if you select the value for 20 foot candle and then we select this one, we're going to add, the new value will be 40. So if I'm going to select that one, so as you can see, it will becomes 40. Okay, so I'm going to select 20 again. So I'm going to select add value here. So it becomes 30. Okay, or the half of the difference between the two values that I'm adding. Okay, so it's 30. So I'm going to add more rows here. And then you can actually key in the value here if you want to modify. So let's say, for example, instead of 40, I want to make this 35, for example. So I'm going to type 35 like that. And then it also updates here. So 30, at least 30 less than 35. So it becomes 35. So I'm going to add more. So I click this one and then I'm going to add two more. Oop, hang on. I'll just select this one first and then I'm going to select add and then add again. Okay, and then after that, I'm going to modify it manually. So this is, let's say I want the 35. Oop, hang on. value. Okay, so that's fine. So let me just make this 31.25. Okay, so this one I'm gonna change this to 70. So I'm going to modify it manually. And then this one I'll change, let me try 50. Yep. And then this one I'll make it 35. All right. Okay, so aside from that, you can also change here the color and also the fill pattern. If you do not want to have a solid color like that, you can change that into other pattern, like pattern for aluminum, concrete, and other patterns here. Okay, so again, you can change the color here if you want, but for now, I'll just use the default color and fill pattern. Okay, and then after that, I'm just going to select here OK. So we just created our color scheme. So now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add a color scheme. I'm going to add a legend and then apply the color scheme. So to do that, let's go to annotate and then let's look for color fill legend. So let's click that one and then I'm going to place it here just beside. And then for the space type, I'll just use here spaces. And then after that, for the color scheme, so I'll be using the required lighting color scheme. And then I select here OK. And that's it. So it's now applied to our floor plan. So you can see now that the color fill plan displays the required illuminance levels based on the key values that we previously created. Okay. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a space lighting analysis schedule. Okay, so let's try to do that one. So let's go to the project browser and then let's look for schedules. So let's right click that. New schedule quantities, click that, and then let's look for spaces. Spaces, and then let us specify the name here. So I will call this space lighting analysis. Okay, schedule building components, and then the pace is new construction, so I'm going to select here OK. There you go. And then here on our fields, I want to add the fields that I would like to appear on my schedule here. Okay, so I'm gonna select the number, space number, just double click that, double click, it will be added here. Okay, so I also want to add a name, just double click, and level, double click, and average estimated illumination. So let's double click that, and then required lighting level, just double click, there you go. Now let me add a calculated value. Okay, to add a calculated value, so let's click this one, add calculated parameter, and then for the name here, I want to call it lighting delta. Okay, and then it's a formula, and then this discipline is for electrical, and then for the type, that's for the illuminance. Okay, and then we are now going to specify the formula. So here for the formula, I'm going to select this browse. Okay, and then let me select average estimated illumination. Just double click that, and then I'm going to add a hyphen, which minus symbol, and then I'm going to select again the browse button or the ellipsis button, and then I'll select required lighting levels. So just double click that. So what happens for the formula is average estimated illumination minus required lighting level. So that will be the lighting delta. All right, so I'm going to select here OK. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to sort out my schedule. Okay, because if I'm going to select OK, I'll use the default settings of my schedule, select OK. So this is how it looks like, right? So I now have the average estimated illumination, the required lighting level, and then the lighting delta. So I want to sort this. Okay, so now I'm going to select the properties again, and then there's the sorting grouping. So I'm going to select here edit. So what I want to do is I want to sort it by level. Okay, so sort it by level. Okay, and then I want to put a header on it, and then I want to put a blank line. Okay, so blank line, and then after that, I want to go to formatting tab as well. So let's go here, and then I select the lighting delta. I'm going to specify here the conditional formatting. Okay, so let's click this. All right, and then field lighting delta, the test here is not between minus 5 foot candle and then 5 foot candle. And then color background, I'm gonna change that to red. Okay, so that will gonna be the conditional formatting for my lighting delta. So basically what will happen, the lighting delta values that I have here that are not within the conditional value of minus 5 foot candle and 5 foot candle are going to be highlighted in red. Okay, so for my lighting delta. So I'm going to select here OK. And then let's select here OK. And then let's see what will happen here on our schedule after we sort it by level. Okay, and then add this conditional formatting. So let's select OK. And there you go. You see, the lighting delta values that are not within the conditional value of minus 5 foot candle and 5 foot candles are highlighted in red. Okay? And also this is now sort by level. And then there's a blank line there. So there's a blank line according to the settings that we have specified. Okay, so that's it for this simple exercise regarding creating color fills and schedule. So on our next video about our electrical system, we're going to add devices and fixtures using schedule to satisfy the required lighting level. Okay, so that's it. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day.